All right. Fantastic. So, this is your spiritual world news reading. Welcome to the space station and welcome to Behind the Black Veil, where we get a more intimate look at the mysteries of our lives. The safety information is down below. Let's get it popping, shall we? All right. Ancestors, Creator, what do you see that you would like some corrections to be made? What do you see that you don't like? You want some corrections to be made. All right, talk to us. What you want? All right, here's what we see that we don't really particularly like. Here's what we see going on planet Earth around here. Duality. Okay, let's put that down. Duality. Pow. The frequency of duality supports our ability to gracefully flow with the everlasting movement among all opposites. Now that's interesting, because in the priesthood reading I was talking about souls getting into the wrong bodies, and also the tribal history that we've had with the different ethnic groups. So I'm going to guess that we haven't been gracefully flowing, generally speaking, down here on Earth with the everlasting movement among all opposites. Okay? Fantastic. All right. So, what do you see as the solution to the situation? And you want to see more of this going on around here. All right. The Creator and the ancestors would like to see a little more of this. Let's find out. I hope you're chilling. Time. Okay. Time. The energy of time supports our understanding of the relativity of time and our capacity to be present in the moment. Okay, let's put the old shit to bed. Sound like to me. All right? Let's put the old shit to bed. The whole culture clash thing. That's going bye-bye. That's going bye-bye. You're going to have to use another measuring technique. Okay, it's got to go beyond the five senses, and that's going to require us to be present in the moment here. All right, and that's going to also require us to take the time to find out what the situation really is, so that we can do this whole gracefully flow with the everlasting movement among all opposites. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same. It has to be a graceful flow. Okay, doesn't have to be the same. All right, go on. Give us an overall. Loss is not defeat. Okay, so don't let the past slow you down. All right, and I get the sensation from that there's fallout from the past. There's things from the past that we're dealing with right now. You know what I mean? Maybe things are, some things are still unresolved. Shout out to the Black family. You know what I mean? But, at this point, I get the sensation. At this point, we cannot approach this in the same state of mind. We can't approach this from the same point of view. We have to bury the past. Am I right, ancestors? I feel like the ancestors are like, right, exactly. Bury the past. Okay, so I get forgiveness out of that. And I don't mean forgetfulness, okay? Because I think everyone could stand to recall the past, all right? I think everyone will benefit from that. But we need to understand that loss is not defeat. Yes, you took some L's. It's not defeat, though, because of this. Ultimate favorable outcome. Listen, I just work here, okay? Do you feel me? Ultimate favorable outcome, that's why. Because we all want that, and whoever don't want that, that's who the problem is. Okay? Doesn't matter how they show up, how they look, what they got, doesn't matter. None of that matters. How long you've known them, what you thought before, none of that matters. Okay? The only thing that matters is who's willing to get along from here on out. Who's willing to do the work of showing up here today in the present moment. Correct. Anybody? Right. And that's who we should concern ourselves with. Everybody else is the past. Come on, y'all. It's not a game. All right. Fantastic. Look here. God is behind it all. Okay. All of it. All the shit that happened in the past, all the, you know, the conflicts, you know what I mean? God was trying to show us something. All right, fantastic. Look, the emperor. It's a new regime. It's a new regime. It's a new time. It's a new rule. Yeah, they were saying that in the priesthood reading. So, okay, good. We're getting the space station worldview. Divine calling. Okay, so I get the sensation that the Creator is calling us ministerial duty. Okay, life purpose, initiation. Also supernatural power. Yeah, like, you know, like telekinesis, psychokinesis. You feel me? Like, we don't have time. We don't have time for the bullshit. Is what we don't have time for. Okay? Because here's time, right? And here's the bullshit in terms of what's not correct. Right? So we don't have time for that. We ain't got no time. We can talk about the differences later, and we can explore those. And that can be a beautiful and fun thing, or, you know, a healing, triggering thing, whatever that it turns out to be. But right now, we need to concentrate on lining ourselves up for this ultimate favorable outcome. Okay? And this ministerial duty. This initiation, these superpowers. Right. Because God is behind it all. You see? So, I hope you're chilling, but God being behind it all means we needed to go through all that to arrive at this point, to arrive at this time, at this place. Here with the Emperor energy, at this level, here with the Emperor energy. Let us move on. Change, whole new world. Okay, that's why loss is not defeat. See what I'm saying? It's going to be brand new. We can be doing it brand new, because God is going to be doing it brand new. Right. Because that's what time it is. Excuse me. Using words to remove obstacles. Yeah, that's how we're going to be doing it. Using words to remove obstacles. Why? Because we want to be talking the shit to death? No. Because words have power. We need to use the words of power with authority here with the Emperor card. We have to speak with authority and selectively, strategically. You dig what I'm saying? Because we don't want to waste words, because we don't have time for the bullshit. So these are not argumentative words. These are words to establish power and authority. This is how we're going to do it type of words. Okay? Because God is behind it all. God has our back. God has deposited us in this time. Okay? So we have to convey these things. I get the sensation. Also, the dots are connecting here, and that's the big picture, and here's a new world. You see how the dots have to connect? We have to work as a network. We have to work in tandem. We have to be cooperative. That's the new shit. Whoever's not willing to cooperate with humanity, that's the problem. Doesn't matter what they look like. Doesn't matter what they got or don't got. Okay. Here we have the divine twins, mutual respect, making a encore performance here. So I get mutual respect with God, mutual respect with the ancestors, because this is the Grand Bois. This is the resting place of the ancestors, heaven on earth. Okay, and we have to cooperate with all those principles, all those characters. And everyone does. Okay, but of course we have to set an example. And that's another reason why loss is not defeat, because we are the example. You know, you pay the karma, you know what I mean? You go through this, you go through that, you go through the lack mentality, you go through heartbreak, you go through, you know what I'm saying? And then, bang, you know, you make it through, you establish your power, yada, yada. And you see what the game is. Careful emotional decisions is how we're going to do it in the future, because that's how we arrived here, right? For better or for worse, that's how we arrived here. We didn't make the decisions carefully enough with the big picture in mind, connecting all the dots, understanding that God is behind it all. And I mean that as a whole human race. Okay, yes. Investment. Yes, you have to invest. I get the sensation because Emperor energy, we're the first responders. You know, because the spiritual first responders are the actual first responders, because that's the first thing to respond to. That's why. So whatever's going on that level, that's what's going on every level. Do you feel me? So I get the sensation that we can't just be on some, that's how the world is. Look at the world type of thing. Like, no, we have to go out there and influence people with our presence. Okay? We have to influence them by setting an example. You know, of course, like minds, you could chop it up with like minds, but it's not really to necessarily tell them these things. It's to demonstrate these things. Okay? All right, fantastic. Let's go deeper. Also, keeping peace in the environment. Okay? Words of authority. Using the power of the word to create worlds. Establishing your will. Establishing the new regime. Establishing your will and your power. It's time. Yeah, divine time. Come on now. Get your personal. My information is down below. Okay, yeah. Listen, helping hands. The ancestors, the dead. This is the resting place of the dead. Here's the dead. Right. Helping hands with the humans. Here's the humans. Okay. Here's the humans up here. Here's the dead. Do you feel me? Ultimate favorable outcome. Talk to the ancestors. They're like the Senate, you know. They're like they're the Senate. They're the local military, like the cops, FBI. You know, they're like the government, you know. And then there's the hidden power, right? That's God behind it all. You see what I'm saying? As above, so below, y'all. Do you feel me? So it's like, don't try to go doing things without the ancestors, right? Just like, you know, if you go out there and break laws, you know, the shadow government people are not coming. The local people are coming, you know, the cops are coming, you know, that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's that sort of shit. Like, you know, can I, you know, have a block party here? And it's like, you got to go and get your ordination or your, you know, license or whatever the hell they, you know, a permit. Go get your permit. You know, you got to go through the protocols, right? You got to follow the policies. So these are the policies. Go on. Helping hands, reaching out to the ancestors, reaching out for an opportunity to connect, divine timing. Also, guided by the spirit. Here's you. Free will, doing what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? They'll make it so you could do what you want to do. They will keep the road clear. So you want to have a block party, I'll make it so no traffic turns onto your block. So that you could be partying in the street without being bothered. I'll fix it, but you got to come talk to me though. All right? Abso-fucking-lutely, because they're the fucking local government. That's why. As above, so below. All right? Fantastic. That's how it all works out. You see, that's how it's ultimate favorable outcome. Yeah, right. Strategy, brainstorming. Uh-huh. Ministerial duty. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to go downtown and get that permit if you want to throw your party or whatever that it is. Absolutely. They with it. They with it. They want a party too. Absolutely. They want a party too. So invite them. Don't, have a party and don't invite them. That's rude. They're going to feel lost, and then you're going to feel lost, right? When the cops come and shut your party down. Do you feel me? Exactly. All right. So I get the sensation on the flip side of the enemies of God, or the people who, are just not giving a fuck about the creator. That's what's going to happen to their party. Their party's about to get shut down. And they're also going to provide an example and a demonstration and an example of what you don't do. Right. Exactly. Okay. Because conflict leads to loss. It's a Five of Swords kind of thing. Conflict leads to loss. Nobody wins, I get the sensation, in a scenario like that. So, okay, something is telling us, and here we are connected to the higher levels. You see what I'm saying? So you're connected to yourself. You're connected to the spirit realm. They're connected to this physical realm, like here, helping hands with the humans and the dead. Ministerial duty. Okay? So I also get a sharp connection here with the King of Swords energy thinker guy. Okay? I get a sharp connection here. Crystal clear. So I get the sensation, whatever, like if you get a permit, right? Let's keep going with that metaphor and that analogy. If you get a permit for your party, it's rock solid. You dig what I'm saying? It is rock solid. You will have fulfilled your obligation. You'll be getting all the directions and downloads that you need. Okay, look, sudden come up. Put some respect on my name, respect for women's affairs. Sudden gain in the marketplace. Brainstorm, mother of storms. Divine timing. It's time for that too. It's time for a sudden come up. I don't know. I get the sensation there's something we're doing for the ancestors that benefits them. Like using their intel. You know what I mean? Using their intel somehow brings them benefit. It somehow gives them a way into this time and space. It gives them a way to experience the physical realms. And I don't know how that's supposed to work, but that's the sensation that I'm getting. Cool, calm, wise decision-making cat, also wise judgment. So I get the sensation that's how we're going to keep our wise judgment popping, by keeping that connection sharp and clear. They will guide us. They will navigate us. We need to stay cool and understand that this is the way to ultimate favorable outcome. Also, mutual respect between groups. That's a big reoccurring thing right now. All right, let's go further. Emotional connection, secrets of the deep. Okay, so God is behind it all, secrets of the deep, and then we have justice. Okay, so there will be justice. I get the sensation that God is behind it all, though. So we need to let God handle it. Is the sensation that I'm getting? Yeah. I get a when hell freezes over, we're gonna skate. I get I get this new world is coming along through a tower, but we're good because we're like with the mermaid energy and the pet whale and everything. God is behind it all. Okay, God about to do some sort of tower. Yeah. People about to feel hurt. Yeah, because like I said, they're going to be, demonstrating what happens when you don't align yourself with God. When you don't get your permit here with the ancestors. Favorable judgment, wise judgment, justice. Do you feel me? That's a lot of ancestor Jews, because the ancestor card in my deck, that means respect and also final judgment. So it's all adding up to that. So when this tower hits, whatever the tower is, I know these are some water cards. This is a lot of water. That's all I know. Flooding, I don't know. On some level, of course, on another level, it's emotional. But I get the sensation it's going to be a massive effect. The effect is going to be massive around the world here because we got a new world. Favorable outcome, well seated within the self because you have good, like your heart was on the scale and you're good. With the justice card. Justice is making it so you can stay well seated within the self while the tower is going on. All right? Because side note, that's how it was in 9/11. I had taken my daughter to school that day and then came back and went back to bed. Do you feel me? And then my mother, shortly thereafter, was yelling on the voicemail. Okay. Right? That's what it was called, voicemail. Anyhow, she was like, wake up, turn on channel 7, wake up, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. And yeah. And so, while people were like, falling out of the building like confetti, because that's what I thought it was at first. Fucking grisly, y'all. But anyhow, right, was wondering what movie this was when I turned on the news. I was like, what movie is this? It's too early, Ma. Like, what are you doing? I don't want to talk about it. I'm tired, And then she was like, this is not a fucking movie, right? So, okay, cool. So anyhow, my point was I was comfortable chilling. Hello? At home, safe. Child, safe. Husband, safe. You know what I'm saying? And that's not everybody's story. You dig what I'm saying? So this is the sensation I get here with the tower. And secrets of the deep here. And loss is not defeat. And the fact that the enemies of God or the people who didn't invest in God, they will be serving as an example of what happens when you don't invest in God or when you make God an enemy of yours. While you're sitting prettily, you're sitting with favorable judgment, and you are well seated within yourself, unmoved by this tower, unmoved. Because for you, it's a new world, and you want this new world. Okay? You want this new world. Right. So you keep focused, because this is all for you, babe. Okay? This is cleaning shit out of your way for the children of God to be able to live on this planet. That's right. The pillars are going to start going up. Abso-fucking-lutely. 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 The pillars are going to start going up that I was telling you about, right? Okay. Because we're going to build a place for ourselves here. Exactly. Profound realization of self. Also the Hierophant card. You have a duty. You, children of God, I get the sensation you're working in the hall of judgment. You are in the ma'at. Yes. And you have to man the scales. You got to man the scales and whatever supporting elements go along with that. That's where we work, and that's why we work. So even if you're outside the temple, outside the sanctuary, you're still on divine business. You feel me? Is the sensation that I'm getting here. Profound realization of self, well seated within the self, and scales balanced. God is behind it all. God has fixed it. God has perfected everything that concerns us before we even knew that the shit needed to be perfected. Okay? Fantastic, Creator. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And we get a new world out of that. That's what's up. And that's why loss is not defeat. Look, ancestor card. Listen, I told you to get your personal. Gosh darn it. Okay? Absolutely. What are you walking around confused for? For what? Hello? Right. Okay. Fantastic. And then look, everybody doesn't see my channel. Think about it, people. Think about it. Okay? So, you see what I'm saying? It's the new policy. You see, with the Emperor card and the Ancestor card. Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major, Major, Major. Do you feel me? Around here. It's major. Okay? Is all I'm saying. Alright? So Ancestor card, final judgment. Favorable judgment. Wise judgment. Come on. Okay? Absolutely. Look. The devil. You see? Right. New regime. New regime. Final judgment. Okay? Ancestor. Ancestor. Do you feel me? Okay? So, this devil business. Okay? He about to be under arrest. Yeah. Yes. Yes, he about to be under arrest. He's had his time. Okay? We don't like the duality and the conflict. Right. Right, because who can fight with God? Nobody. That's who. Arms too short, that's why. Okay? Fantastic. Right, look, remember all this heartbreak? The devil? Remember that? Remember all that chaos and mayhem? Right. Okay. Well, accounts come due today. Look like here with the final judgment card. Yeah. Protect what matters most. Yeah, the devil tried to fuck with what mattered the most. Not the least of which is the children of God and their power to create worlds through the power of the word. Their power to open and close gates. The devil was blocking the gate. Okay? With his distorted emperor energy. Yeah. Well, the ancestors said that time is over. And you got to pay for that. Right. Before you get on. You got to pay for that. Because that has to be a demonstration. See, all the loss that we felt, that's got to flip around. Why? It's not revenge. It's justice. It's justice. Justice is a must. People have to stand and bear witness. Because that's what we do in the hall of judgment. We got to testify up in there. How many know? That's what the trial is about. That's what the trials have been about. So you could have testimony. Hello? Right. I know that's right. Like you can't do it without the ancestors' help. Testify. When you was doing it without the ancestors' help, how was it going? Right. Because this is the law. That's why. Okay? Absolutely. Of the universe, because we up in the space station. All right? Fantastic. So yeah, the devil got to pay. Right. For all of the energy you held. You feel me? All that broiling on the coals of hell. Right. All that broiling. Yeah, he has to pay for that. Yeah. And you was keeping peace in the environment. Right? Speaking to people taking your kindness for weakness. You dig what I'm saying? We was keeping peace in the environment for the benefit of all beings. Okay? But time's up. # time's up. All right? Fantastic. Look at here. This emperor here, the devil, falling from grace, trying to make you hold your energy back. Right. And you had to do all of this. You had to give all of this to keep peace into the atmosphere. When you wanted to set this fool on fire. Do you feel me? I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, the ancestors have come to regulate. So we need to just get out of the way. Bury the past. I don't know if we was burying the past in the last reading or the beginning of this one. But let's bury the past. Because it's dead. That's why. You can feel however you want to feel about it. Spit on it. Whatever pleases you. Okay? Put flowers on it. Whatever you're into. But it's the past now. Okay? It's the past now. So get off on your floor. That's every floor. We on the space station. So every floor you see. All right? That's what that applies to. Can you wrap it up, ancestors? Can you wrap it up? Because it's a new regime up in here. You have every right to be upset. Also, she has justice juice in her card too. She is the corn mother. She is the wrathful goddess. Yes, she is. And she come to regulate and break it down. Break things down to a granular level. Right. Right. She didn't come to talk. She came to transform the situation here. I'm getting the tower out of that. So we're going to be bringing towers again with our ascent. They've said that before. So, understand that. And loss is not defeat. Don't get distracted. The karma's paid. The karma's paid. You paid it. You shouldn't have had to pay all that karma. It's this dude. Is this dude the devil? Okay? You shouldn't have had to pay all that karma. Matter of fact, he shouldn't have to pay that back with interest. He the one that's going to be feeling loss around here. Right. Because it's time. It's time for justice. Justice. Go on. That's right. You had to walk through the fire. This motherfucker got to walk through the fire. That's how that shit has to go. That's a must. That's a must. And people need to see that happen, and you need to see that happen. Everybody needs to be assured that justice is the law of the universe. They need to be assured that not only is it time, but it's divine time. Everybody has to bear witness to what's about to go down. All right? Now, on that note, I hope that information helps somebody out there. I really do. For more deep ass readings, like, share, and subscribe. Get yourself a personal. My information is down below. Hit that notification bell. On your way out, pick up a copy of Discriminating Wisdom over at Amazon. Make sure you're out here discriminating wisely. And I will see you again here soon, party people behind the black veil.